Have you ever held something in your hand and felt the weight of history, not just in its age, but in the very way it was crafted? Today, I'm excited to take you on a journey into the fascinating story behind a coin that many might pass by without a second glance, the 1991 US quarter dollar. At first, it might seem like an ordinary piece of everyday currency, but for us collectors, it's much more than that. It's a testament to American minting heritage, a snapshot of evolving technology, and in certain cases, a rare gem born of a happy accident at the mint. Let's start with a little background. The 1991 quarter is part of the long line of Washington quarters that have been in production since the 1930s, a design chosen to honor our first president, whose visage has graced these coins for decades. By 1991, coin production had become highly automated. Yet, even in such a controlled process, there are those rare moments when the unexpected happens. In this particular year, some quarters emerge with slight errors, a misalignment here, a die break there, that have since caught the keen eye of experienced collectors. These little variations, often barely noticeable to the untrained observer, can make a world of difference when it comes to value and desirability. Take a moment now to really look at your coin. Notice the fine engraving of Washington's profile, the carefully chiseled features that have been reproduced with remarkable consistency over time. And just above his shoulder, the mint mark quietly reveals where the coin was born, whether from Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. These tiny letters carry huge significance in our world. They're like secret codes that tell us not only about the coin's origin, but sometimes about a rare misstep in production that has rendered a few specimens particularly valuable. When you inspect the coin closely, you'll see the reeded edge, a feature that isn't just decorative but functional, designed originally to prevent clipping and later to add a subtle element of texture that catches the light in intriguing ways. I encourage you to pause here, take a closer look at that edge, and appreciate how even the smallest detail has been carefully engineered. It's this marriage of design and function that makes every quarter, even one minted as recently as 1991, a little piece of art. Now, let's talk about what makes some of these 1991 quarters so rare and sought after. Most of these coins circulated in everyday life, but a select few emerged with error characteristics that set them apart. For example, there are documented cases of misaligned dies, a situation where the two halves of the coin's design didn't line up perfectly. Such errors, when they occur on coins that have otherwise been struck cleanly, are prized because they're accidental and unique. A misstrike like this is not something the mint intended, but its rarity has turned it into a coveted variant. In some auction rooms, a high-grade, misaligned 1991 quarter has fetched premiums that far exceed its face value, sometimes selling for several $100s or more, especially if the error is confirmed by a reputable grading service. Speaking of market value, the landscape for these coins is as dynamic as it is fascinating. The typical, well-circulated 1991 quarter might be worth only its face value to a casual collector, but those with error features, particularly in mint state condition, are a different story. Over the past decade, we've seen a steady upward trend in prices for error coins from this year. Auction results have recorded impressive sales, with some specimens fetching prices that reflect not only their rarity, but the intense demand among seasoned collectors. Market trends suggest that as more collectors become aware of these rarities, and as high-grade examples become scarcer, we can expect their value to continue rising. But the story doesn't stop at numbers and auction records. There's a rich tapestry of lore woven around the 1991 quarter that adds a certain mystique to its already impressive credentials. One popular tale among collectors is about a small batch of these quarters that, due to an unusual die pairing, exhibited an almost imperceptible doubling of the design elements on the reverse. This quirk, which might be dismissed as a minor flaw by some, has earned a sort of cult status. It's said that one coin from this batch was discovered in a long-forgotten coin album, its error so subtle that it went unnoticed for years until a veteran collector spotted it. Such stories remind us that sometimes the history of a coin is not just in its minting, but in the journey it takes through the hands of collectors each adding their own chapter to its legacy. Now, let's dive deeper into the condition-based variations that can make or break the value of a 1991 quarter. The grading of coins is a crucial aspect for any collector, and the 1991 quarter is no exception. In its best uncirculated state, graded as MS65 and above, the coin can command a significant premium, particularly if it possesses one of those rare error features. On the other hand, quarters that have been heavily circulated while still holding historical interest typically fall into a lower value bracket. The condition is everything. A coin with a brilliant strike, full luster, and no noticeable wear is a true gem, especially when it carries the bonus of a rare mint error. Conversely, even the rare error coins can lose a lot of their luster, and thus their value, if they've seen too much wear over the decades. For those of you who are serious about collecting these coins, authenticity and proper storage are paramount. I always recommend that you only purchase from reputable dealers or established auction houses that offer certification from recognized grading services. It's easy for errors to be faked or misinterpreted, and the last thing you want is to invest in a coin that doesn't live up to its supposed rarity. When you do acquire a 1991 quarter, especially one with potential error characteristics, invest in a high-quality, acid-free holder or even a display case that minimizes exposure to light, moisture, and handling. Proper storage isn't just about keeping the coin safe, it's about preserving its history and ensuring that its beauty endures for future generations. There's also an interesting side to the discussion when it comes to comparing the 1991 quarter to other similar coins. It's not uncommon for collectors to mix up a 1991 quarter with those from adjacent years, such as 1990 or 1992. While they all carry the same iconic design, the details, like the position of the mint mark, the sharpness of the strike, and even subtle variations in the lettering, can help distinguish them. The 1991 quarter, particularly those with errors, stands out because of the specific circumstances of its production. By understanding these nuances, you not only become better at authenticating your own coins, but also gain a deeper appreciation for the evolution of minting technology over time. Before we wrap up, I'd like to share a few more collecting tips that can make a big difference in your coin hunting adventures. First, always do your homework before making a purchase. Familiarize yourself with the specific error types that can occur on a 1991 quarter and know what to look for. Second, network with fellow collectors, whether online or at local coin clubs. The insights and experiences shared within these communities can be invaluable. And finally, be patient. The thrill of the hunt is one of the most rewarding aspects of collecting. Sometimes the best finds are those that appear when you least expect them, tucked away in an old collection or discovered at a small coin show. I hope that today's exploration has given you a fresh perspective on a coin you might have once overlooked. Next time you handle a quarter, take a closer look. You might find that the details you once dismissed now hold the key to an untold story, a rare moment in the annals of American minting history. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the intriguing world of the 1991 quarter. Keep your collections close, your eyes keen, and never stop exploring the hidden depths of our shared history.